Hello and welcome to your Daily Cup of Football with me, David Wilson. James is back in another different corner of the same
This is
bedroom.
the opposite corner of my bedroom. I can see the other corner. It was a long and dangerous trek.
It's the quarterfinals, so James decided to make a tactical adjustment to prepare.
There's so much more room for activities here.
And as you can see, if you're watching, you just saw a glimpse, a sneak preview of some of the presentations we're going to have for this podcast.
High quality.
Very high quality. It could not be more discount. Actually, it could, because they are laminated, to be fair.
Yeah.
If they weren't, then it would be sad. The
They would have fallen
lamination,
apart already.
the lamination is a good touch. We're here to talk about 3 quarterfinal games, James. Now I know what you're thinking, people at home. Wait a minute. There's not 3 Euro quarterfinals tomorrow. You're right. There are 2 Euro quarterfinals.
How is this possible?
And
put a comment down below if you know what
I'm about to tell them. Peru is playing a Copa America quarterfinal. So technically there's 4, but we're not going to really talk about Brazil, Chile. Please, Chile. Please. That was just my own personal message to all those bums down there in Chile.
Oh, funny thing. This is good. You bring up Chile. Let's have a little tangent here.
Okay.
I was watching highlights of Spain's 2010 World Cup.
Oh.
And they play Chile in the group stage.
Yes.
And those same guys are playing. Bocejor is playing in the 2010 World Cup.
But is Bocejor in the Copa America team?
Yes,
right now?
he was playing. He was playing in 2019.
I'm saying 2021.
I think he is. And so was Sanchez, Vidal.
Those guys, yeah.
All the same guys. So anyways.
Although I'm not sure about Alexis Sanchez.
Gary Medel.
Yeah, Medel will always be playing at the back for Chile. Anyway, yes. They're kind of like who's another team like that, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure. I was thinking of like Switzerland, but I don't think they go back.
Hasn't changed since 2010. Hasn't changed since 2010.
But I think it has kind of changed. I think like
but the major players, like the backbone of the team.
I mean, I think you're right about. Was Eduardo Vargas there?
I don't know. Probably not.
Claudio Bravo, yes. Right?
Yes.
Medel is there. Vidal is there.
Sanchez was there.
Alexis Sanchez, I believe, is actually done. He's not on. He wasn't a starter, and he's not on the bench. He's not. He's had not a great last few years.
That's terrible.
Starting with
This is so sad.
Ill-advised trade between Man U and Arsenal. We'll have Christian on to talk about the rise and fall of Alexis Sanchez, his favorite player.
Tune in next week.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna start with the Euros though. We'll go in order. If for some reason you're lucky enough to have tomorrow off to watch all these games, unlike me and James, but we'll start chronologically. We'll save. There's the best game of the day is Belgium Italy. Let's just be honest. That's the best game of the quarterfinal round at the Euros because France decided to not partake in this tournament anymore.
They decided to not score from 6 yards.
Before, I'm getting ahead of myself. I just forgot even what we're going to talk about because there were 2 round of 16 games that we didn't get to talk about.
There were?
Yeah, there were.
Oh,
and
yeah.
one of them was, depending on, your allegiance, one of the most, long awaited it was the last one, I believe, wasn't it? No, it was not the last one. I don't count Sweden, Ukraine. And I guess I owe an apology to Ukraine because my analysis of that game was Sweden's going through. So James, before we go England, Germany, you watched every single minute, skipping through some of the wasting time throw-ins of Ukraine beating Sweden in a, I guess, entertaining, as it turned out, game. After extra time, 2-1, a late goal, late in the stoppage time of extra time. Dovbyk, who plays in the Ukrainian league, and some random dude who they brought on for Yaremchuk. Zinchenko scored the opener. He's like the well-known guy on Ukraine and was very angry when he scored and had some words to say to us all. I think he was looking right at me when he was saying shh and all that. Forsberg equalized in the 43rd minute. He actually
hit the post twice
and hit the post like multiple times. He ends this tournament with 4 goals, which is a pretty good return for Emil Forsberg, who has been a long time. He's going to be good someday. I guess today is the day, but it wasn't enough to take Sweden into the quarterfinals. So James, Tell me everything that these people need to know about
Look,
Ukraine and
this was
Sweden.
about as exciting as these two teams could handle. I'm surprised, honestly, that there were any goals at all. What is it to say? It was very even. Both teams, they would have these spells where they just like pass it around, lazy, like, oh, let's go back to the center backs. I mean, the center backs had more touches than the strikers in this game. Um, and then in the end, it probably came down to the red card. In the extra time,
I forgot to mention that. Go
a
ahead. Yeah.
Swedish man decided that he was going to attempt to remove the knees off of a Ukrainian player with his cleats. This didn't go down well with the ref, who initially gave a yellow, shockingly, and then took one look at the VAR at Elvar,
Marcus
and
Danielson
yeah, and then went back to red card
received
him
his marching orders.
and call 911 for the
Yeah, I
assault
mean,
that just occurred. That was the worst red card of the tournament,
yeah,
maybe of the year. That was awful. A
he
horrible challenge.
it was an attempted amputation. That was closer to that than a tackle, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. So that changed the game. I think if they had stayed 11-11, it would have gone to penalties. And I think Sweden would have won in penalties. But unfortunately, they didn't keep 11 guys on the field. He decided he was going to do that. And Ukraine got, I mean, it's hard. If either team had won, I wouldn't have been here like, oh, the other team deserved it. Both teams deserved nothing. They didn't have many great chances. There were 3 posts, but it wasn't like they were right in front of goal. They were pretty far out. So I don't know. It was a deserved victory from Ukraine, and I think England are happy with that result.
And James gave it away. The next game we'll talk about, which was before this, so the winner of Ukraine, or Ukraine knew who they were going to face as they went through. England took on Germany in Wembley in a historic matchup. These two go back a long ways on the soccer field.
Where else, David?
Nowhere else.
What are you referring to?
I don't know. I'm sure they're hockey teams. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to think of another one. Yeah, England's most famous win ever for the men's national team is against Germany, West Germany, in 1966, a World Cup.
Been a while.
Been a while. And I believe, I don't know, maybe if you're English, just destroy me in these comments and everywhere else about this. But I'm pretty sure I heard someone say that before this win, they had not beaten Germany in a competitive match, because they only really play them in tournaments. If you play them in a competitive match, they don't do qualifiers against Germany. That they had not beaten them since 1966, which they won in extra time. This was also in Wembley, new Wembley. I don't believe it's in the same ground. That's just newer. I'm not sure. But this was a different, we said this before, that, these are teams that are not the same exactly as the,
the ones that played in 66. These are different guys, yeah.
Yes, not that. And then not like 2010 when Germany blitzkrieged, I don't know if that's the right word to use, that ran rampant over England in 2010, 4-1 win. That German team was on the rise toward their 2014 eventual win, and that England team was just kind of muddling along as England has usually done, never really reaching the heights. But this game kind of went not exactly as I thought. I mean, I thought England was going to win, so I'll take the credit for that. It was tight and it was kind of tense, and both teams had chances to win. Germany early on had a good chance. Goretzka ran through the middle of the English defense. And Declan Rice, maybe a good foul, although he had Kyle Walker, who's the fastest man on the field right there, who probably would have caught Goretzka. But it was 0-0 at halftime. England.
What about the Werner chance? You don't count that one?
Yeah, if it's Werner, when I saw Werner, I said, what are they doing? What is that? I was happy throughout the tournament that Germany's okay, we're not going to start Werner. We're going to go with a different kind of forward. And Gnabry, Havertz is actually kind of in form, even though he's not a pure goal scorer, but he's scored some big goals. They go with I mean, I said it or thought it. I mean, I was by myself. I don't talk to myself. Not that much. Not that much. I said it's the German Alvaro Morata, basically. That's who they put on their field. A guy who has no confidence. And if you're England, you're thinking, cool, Alvaro Morata or Timo Werner. And, if you're John Stones, Harry Maguire, it's not, Miroslav Klose, it's not Mario Gomez. And Mueller is not the same Mueller as we'll talk about in about 5 minutes when he had his opportunity to save Germany. But he had a pretty good chance, and Pickford, it was a one-on-one, it was a through ball. Pickford blocked it, and that was, I guess, the best chance of the half. Sterling forced kind of a not great save out of Neuer. And England were just kind of hanging in there, and Germany, neither team looked great, but England was kind of solid except for the couple chances. Harry Kane did not look great. And if you check Twitter, which is always not a great place for soccer fans, but people who were trying to analyze the game saying, I know why they're keeping Kane on, because he's the captain and he's, was the Golden Boot winner at the World Cup, and he's the guy who's supposed to score goals, but he looks kind of not great. And we got Calvert-Lewin and Marcus Rashford on the bench, and those guys might be able to do more in the game. They kept Kane on. Second half, still tight, and Kane was involved in the goal. Now, also involved in the goal was Jack Grealish, who came on. Fans seemed to be wanting it. Every time they showed a picture of him, the crowd was going wild. Fans were kind of right. He passed the ball to Luke Shaw. Raheem Sterling started the move into Kane, to Grealish, to Luke Shaw, credit to Luke Shaw, who's had a long road back to, being on this stage. He had horrible leg injuries. Jose Mourinho kind of bullied him while he was at Man U, and apparently was writing columns in English newspapers still ripping Luke Shaw. And I think even Ian Dark or Stuart Robson was like, give it a rest, Jose. He's been through enough. But he played the ball through the corridor of uncertainty to Raheem Sterling, who has every single goal up to that point for England. People have been calling for Jadon Sancho and Rashford, and Sterling has 3 goals. And I mean, it was a tap in, but he's from Man City, and that's what they do. They score tap ins, and he put it in. And then for a little bit, England was shaking, just like the camera in the Wembley, with the crowd not really believing what was happening, that they're winning a game against Germany. And Sterling nearly gave it away. He had a terrible back pass, which started a German counter, and it fell to the right German. If you're Germany, at least they thought, Thomas Mueller, who I guess in another strange statistic anomaly has scored a ton of World Cup goals. But like, is it 0 Euro goals? It's something crazy. It's like he doesn't score at the Euros, but at the World Cup, he scores. He's like the top scorer. 1-on-1, he's in, and he pulls it wide. Not even on target. And I think when that happened, I thought, England's going to win this game. I mean, that was the chance. And Germany should have been equalized, but they didn't. England, a few minutes later, same kind of move, to the left side. This time it was Jack Grealish who crossed it in. Not a great cross, but Kane showed why he's just a killer striker, and has won multiple, or at least one Golden Boot in the Premier League, and won the World Cup Golden Boot. It's multiple, right? He's a 20 goals a year easily goal scorer for Tottenham.
He led with assists too this season.
And led with assists, which was kind of impressive. And he kind of had to adjust with his header, and it was actually a good finish. And it was a great moment. I mean, everyone had been waiting for Harry Kane to do it. The crowd lost its mind. The pictures that they had afterwards were amazing. Limbs everywhere and security.
Did you see the video of Boris Johnson reacting to this?
That was so fake. It's not even funny. Everyone was saying, I mean, it's not real. It's not real. It was so bad that it was staged, that it was like just a prepared video, that it wasn't real.
Why?
Which I could buy, because he's so mechanical and so like lame.
It seemed genuine in his own little way. I don't.
Anyway, that wasn't my favorite reaction. My favorite
Why
reaction was
I don't understand.
because it didn't feel real. That's why you assume something.
Why?
Because
Because someone on Twitter said it.
Anyway, no, I watched the video, James. Anyway, I prefer the people in the stands, the paying public, who have been waiting their whole lives.
That is a better reaction
to watch England win a game against Germany. And they did 2-0. And I know I've been talking. James, you before the game said you didn't know what to expect from the game, and that's why you were excited. So tell me what you.
Wow, this went exactly how I expected.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, and that's what happened. I didn't.
That doesn't really
see what
make
I'm
sense.
saying?
No,
in a
not
strange,
really.
Twisted way, it does.
But okay, what were your impressions of the game? Me, I thought England was going to win, and even though I was still surprised they did it, I was like, yeah, I thought England was solid and wasn't going to get blown away, and
Look,
Germany could leak goals.
it seemed like Germany was going to steal it. That's what I was seeing. England. You probably remember this stat of Surrey and Dark. He said that England have created 17 chances.
Yeah.
That is second lowest in the entire tournament. That is pathetic. Pathetic. As someone close to my heart would say. That is pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
That's awful.
Okay.
So that did not fill me with much confidence. I was like, oh, really? That's awful.
Yeah.
Even the game against Czech Republic, I thought they'd get all the chances in that one. Still, just 17. Anyways, but in the end, it just came down to who scored their chances. And Germany had two, maybe three, basically two, and they missed. One was at the goalie. Mueller pulled his wide. And England scored theirs. I mean, for the Mueller chance, I don't think that really wasn't a Mueller type of opportunity. Like that's not when you think of Mueller goals, you're not thinking of him running in behind and scoring a goal like that.
I
Not to
guess.
say that we should have expected him to miss. No, he himself probably backed himself to score. I thought he was going to score. You should expect to score in those types of situations. I think it's not his traditional type of goal. I also think he had too much time to think about it. I think that does happen to people. All this time running towards goal, it has something. Maybe I'm reading too much into it because that does
Maybe.
happen to me personally. Like when I'm running towards the goal, it's like, okay, I'm gonna score. Versus when I just have that you don't have any time to think about it. You just swing, and wow, that's a great shot. I didn't think I could even do that. Maybe he doesn't experience the same way I do.
I would guess not the
But
same
he's
exact
always
way.
been my version of Mueller in my head. The one I've seen play is he's in the right place, right time. One swing at it, and it's a goal. He doesn't dribble around. He's at the end of crosses, end of passes. I mean, he's not that. That's a Werner type goal back when he was at Leipzig. That's the goal
Yeah.
he would score. He'd run in behind and slot it home. I mean, you'd still expect Mueller to score, so he probably was very disappointed.
Yeah.
As was all of Germany, especially that little girl crying at the end.
That was not
You remember
right.
that? That was so sad.
Well, then also apparently there were a couple like not great moments. One before the game and one after the game. One after the game was online. I guess like she's been receiving some. They've been making fun of her on Twitter, England fans, and not being very like England
Making
fans.
fun of who?
The little girl who was crying, like taking the picture and doing stuff to it. I haven't seen any of them. I just heard it's very bad, and people are raising money now to try to like.
Oh my god.
Anyway, the other thing that was not that savory or not nice was the England fans booing the German national anthem. That was not great. That's not a great look. I know.
It was amusing.
It's not amusing. You don't do that.
I thought it was amusing.
Okay, I just don't think you can. I don't think you can do that. So
why not?
Because that's disrespectful. I mean,
that's the point. Yeah.
But to be disrespectful.
That's why they're booing.
It's their country. It's a country. You don't. I just thought it was bad form. So, but again, I mean, anyway, it doesn't matter when you show them like celebrating afterwards. You're like, oh, we love England. They can boo a national team anthem, and then it's fine because they're go crazy. The question, James, I promise we'll get to the next round. This has to do with that. England has never had, I would say, I don't know about this. Maybe I'm just guessing, an easier road to a major tournament final. They beat Germany. That was the hardest team on that side. Now, Denmark, Czech Republic, Ukraine stand in their way. Ukraine is the team they're playing next. And then it's either Denmark or Czech Republic. So, James, is England going to the final?
I don't want to make any promises, but it seems like it, yes. Say there's a 75 to 80% chance that they make the final. And you said they haven't had an easy road to the final. They did. It was in 2018.
Yes, but I would say that could, other than that, you're right. But Croatia, I think is, so I guess, is Croatia better than Denmark?
Are they better than Germany? I mean, you're not going in order. I mean, I'm just putting the teams together. Like, who did they play in the first round?
No, I'm talking about knockout stages now. I'm not talking about Panama and all those teams.
No. That's what I mean.
They played
first
Colombia.
Round. Colombia, and then
that's it. It was Colombia and Sweden.
So
Sweden would that's
Colombia,
who they could have
Sweden,
played.
Denmark. Colombia,
Croatia.
Sweden, Croatia, Germany, Ukraine, Denmark. I mean, It's pretty close.
Okay, so they're going to do the job this time. Last time they were expected to go to the final, but that was they kind of.
See, normally I would say I hope so, but I kind of like Denmark. So
that's going to be, I don't know. I mean, of course, we're all writing off your boy Patrick Schick.
But can they beat the Czech Republic? Can England beat the Czech Republic?
They already did.
Can England beat? Patrick Schick was only using 25% of his power.
The other thing that's good for England is, what we were talking about, is if they want anything from Sweden, Ukraine, is extra time, and they got that. And whoever that guy was who got cleated in the knee is not probably going to play. Hopefully he was important here in England.
I don't think he was.
Probably not.
Don't think, he wasn't like Malinowski.
The other thing that you mentioned, the stat about 17 chances. Here's another stat that's actually good for England.
Oh, nice.
They've conceded 0 goals. Okay. Oh. So look, yes, you can get lucky with that and teams can miss, but they're the only team left that has not conceded. And I think that's something. And so take that with whatever grain of or handful of tablespoon of salt you want, but they have yet to concede. Now you need goals usually to win these tournaments. It's hard to go through. You could not concede and still lose. If you score, that could also happen. But I'm just saying, as just a stat. Here's the other question. Did Gareth Southgate get bailed out by just the fact that they ended up scoring when they weren't playing great, and they have Jadon Sancho on the bench, they have all these other guys, and they're just kind of sticking with the same lineup? Or has he been vindicated?
Bailed out, vindicated. It's hard to say with these sorts of decisions, because if you put, I don't know, if you played Jadon Sancho, you'd be saying, why is Sterling on the bench? Why
well,
is
no,
Sterling
not if Jadon Sancho played really well.
Do you really think he would? I don't
know. He hasn't had a chance.
If he was so great, wouldn't he start?
I don't know.
Why are we presuming we know what's going on at the training ground?
Well, I think what it is probably is Sterling.
Here's what it is. It's not going well. We have players who have seemed to be good in the past on the bench. Why aren't these guys playing? That's the only way it works. Don't pretend that there's some kind of other thing going on here. It's always that. No, if they were playing really well, no one would be saying, where's Sancho? It's not going well. That's why you think those guys should be playing. And I don't think it would have been any different with Sancho or Rashford or any of those players. It would have been probably not so good because it was a cagey game. It was tight. It was always going to be that way. So I think it's kind of naive to say, oh, wow, it's a selection. Oh.
I'm just bringing it up because that's the question.
And I'm chastising people who say that. Like, he should be playing this. He should be playing that. Like, in the end, the bailed out, or what was the other word you used?
Vindicated.
Vindicated, right. It's all in the result. So he was correct because it worked. You're only incorrect once it doesn't. So I think it's really hard to tell when you really make a real huge mistake as a manager selection wise. And I think people like to kind of just, oh, they didn't play this, so that's why they lost. Like, well, is it really that? Maybe it is. I don't think it's always as cut and dry as people on Twitter and every single analyst at the beginning of every single game like to make out. That's just my little rant about that.
I think Denmark is the team that could beat England, I think. So that's going to be their challenge. The thing is the game against Ukraine is in Rome, which is not London, but not a terrible journey. And then from then on, it'll be in London. I think if they were going to Copenhagen, I think they'd be in trouble. Yeah. I think anybody at this point going to Copenhagen, get ready because you're probably losing. So I think England's going to the final.
Which is also in Wembley.
Which is Wembley,
Was this tournament set up so England could win the whole thing?
I don't know, but that's what it seems like right now. Other than, Germany and who historically have had their number and could have done it on, I think that was Friday, right? Was it Friday? When was that? I don't even remember.
Monday?
Oh my gosh, sure.
Or Tuesday? No,
Wednesday?
Monday.
Tuesday?
It was on Tuesday.
It was on Tuesday.
It's on Tuesday.
It's been a long week, James. I'm sorry. Okay.
What year is it?
I think it's 2020,
right? They keep telling me it's 2020.
Well, that's what they tell you, but it's not.
Euro 2020, right?
In 2021. All right, now we go to the quarterfinals that are happening tomorrow. We're going to start with Spain, Switzerland. So Spain, both these teams involved in a crazy wild game, which probably means this one's going to be cagey and boring. I would guess. Spain has scored 5 goals in each of their last 2 games. They're playing Switzerland, who knocked out the world champions, France. James,
Yes.
you what? What?
Nothing.
Do you
Just
know what I'm gonna
preparing for
ask?
whatever's
Oh yeah.
coming next.
I'm just saying you've used the term fraud before as it
Yeah.
relates to Switzerland. And
Mhm.
my question to you is, can a
Yes.
team be referred to? Let me finish the question, counsel. Can a can a team be considered a fraud if they advance in a tournament when their opponent is the world champions? That's my question.
Sure. Why not?
Is that a
Yes.
yes?
Yes, it is a
Okay,
yes.
yes.
Yes, it is a yes.
So they're still frauds.
Look, France lost that game, and it just so
Switzerland did not
happened that
win.
Switzerland was there to pick up the pieces. That's all
Okay.
it was.
So then Spain should have
Switzerland gave up a metric ton of chances.
and France did
They
not
could have
score them.
lost that game by a lot. Instead, France
Okay, here's my
chose
question
not to
then.
score.
Here's my question then. France gave missed chances.
Yeah.
Spain, who do have 10 goals in the last 2 games, but you'd think not as clinical, although maybe it's changing. So James, where is your confidence level for Spain, who is the heavy favorite, obviously? And for them, this is a great draw. This is like the best case scenario. They were probably looking at it thinking, oh, we're going to get France. Ooh, that's going to be tough. It's Switzerland, who looked average against Italy, who lost 3-0, tied Wales and beat Turkey, and then had the crazy game against France. You'd think Spain is going to fancy their chances here. But are we? I mean, you're obviously not going to give the Swiss any chance, right? Because they're frauds.
Oh, well,
They
that
can
doesn't
be
mean I can't.
frauds and make it to the semifinal of the Euros.
Of course, yeah. They can sneak into it. Of course they can.
Are they going to?
Well, no. I'm not going to
Okay.
say. That's a direct question, so I'm going to have to
Yes.
say no to that. Can they? Is it possible? I think it's possible. The one thing that I think is going against, now this is obviously me being more honest. The one thing that's going against Switzerland right now is the fact that they did just play such a huge game. This is not really a hard and fast rule, but usually when one team gets a huge upset victory, lots of, like, there was a comeback. You know, they took the lead, it got taken away, comeback all the way to penalties. That's a big effort, emotionally, physically, more psychologically and emotionally than anything else, in terms of how it affects the next game, because Spain also went to extra time. So to go to perform like that, to get a result, and then to try and do it again to get yourself up for another game against another big team, that usually ends with that team getting roasted. Usually, right?
Yeah.
I mean, unless they come out and just dominate, don't give up many chances, and then you're like, oh, okay, well then they're just good. But that's not really what I don't think anybody's expecting that from Switzerland going into this game. I think they're going to give up chances, and I think it's going to come down to whether or not Spain squanders them. And the more squandered Spain chances, the more Spain will push forward, the more they'll be vulnerable at the back. And Switzerland are a team of professional footballers who, when given space and a good shot at goal, can score. So as much of frauds as they are, they're still professionals. So if you give them space, they can score. So that's what it's going to come down to, I think. Early goals from Spain.
Yeah. And so do you have a prediction, an official prediction?
I do. Yes, Spain.
España.
Seen
Over
this one
under
before.
for Spain. Over under for Spain, 2 goals. What would you take? Or 2?
If I was a betting man, which I
I
never have been.
Never have been, and
obviously.
we don't condone it.
Yeah, never. Wow, that's a good line. Those bookies know what they're doing. I guess
I've looked at any of them.
I'd probably put money on under.
Wow.
Just to be conservative.
Under.
I'd like it to be more, but come on.
I mean, we didn't think they were going to score 5 in this game.
I know, but they didn't even beat. I mean, Spain didn't beat Croatia by more than 2. So
that's still. I mean, a 2-goal win is a pretty, and not given the way this game went, but like if you said Spain's going to win by 2 goals. That's a pretty solid win.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it went.
So I'd take a 2-goal win.
If Morata scores, Spain's going to win. That's my opinion here. Because if he scores, I feel like that just is like, it's just the goal counts for, like, you get 1 point for the goal, but the emotional reaction for himself and his teammates who have been, I mean, David De Gea is like kissing him they're like having like a moment after he scored. Did you see that? It was so lovely. I was like, yes, somebody give him a hug. I'd give him a kiss. He needs this. So if he scores, I think they're going to win. And the way Spain has been playing, he's going to get a chance or 2 or 3, and he's going to score.
Yeah.
I would say if this goes to penalties, it'd be interesting because usually teams, it's hard to win back-to-back penalty shootouts, but Spain has been bad on penalties and lost a penalty shootout in the last World Cup.
Wait, I think no team had ever won 2 penalty shootouts in a row until Croatia. I want to
Was
say
that
did
last
it
time?
in 2018.
I think they beat Denmark and then Russia, right? On penalties.
Yeah.
I believe. So
That might be just a World Cup stat though.
Maybe. It's just, in all my time of watching, which isn't like that long really in the grand scheme of
Someday
soccer,
it will be.
But it tends to be like, it probably has to do psychologically too. It's like you have to do another penalty shootout, which is hard. And then you're thinking about your last penalty kick and look, I went this way, I went that way. As soon as you start thinking, you miss. I don't think this is going to extra time. I think this is where it ends for Switzerland. And I think Spain goes through to await the winner, James, of the next game, which is high noon tomorrow.
Oh.
Italy, Belgium, Munich. That's where they're playing, in Munich. And it seems like Samuel's assessment of the medical situation of De Bruyne was pretty accurate, which makes sense because he's literally a professional. That it looks like De Bruyne's not going to start, and he's going to be on the bench, but he's not going to start. He doesn't have any like structural damage is the word or the phrase they use of his ankle, but he's not going to start. And I think also Hazard is not going to start. The Hazard one is not that important, as much important to me as De Bruyne, obviously, because he's like the heart and soul of this team in the last few years. Hazard's just kind of like a little ornament, a little pretty decoration, I think. Whereas De Bruyne is like the tree. I mean, he's the tree, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe I'm being too over the top with it. This is going to come I think then it falls on, I think, Lukaku. They're going to look to Lukaku. They're going to look to, I guess the replacement might be your friend Dendoncker in the midfield, right? I mean, I don't know how they're going to do that.
For who?
How they going to, for De Bruyne.
Oh.
If they had
that's Tielemans not really a replacement. That's
not really. I know,
a placeholder.
It's a body to play in there. I guess they did play Dries Mertens. They brought him on. So
wait, but no, hold on. Dendoncker doesn't play the same position as they have Witsel.
I'm saying he started. Okay, that's
it's
true.
Witsel and Tielemans, and De Bruyne was playing up the top with.
Okay, here it is, James.
Okay.
Obviously, if these teams were fully healthy, we'd say Belgium is the favorite.
Yeah.
Are they still the favorite now? And who's going through?
Yes, they're still the favorite. But I think Italy, again, I hate to bring it up. I keep bringing it up. Psychologically, I think Italy are smelling blood in the water. I think the Belgium team that they're going to put out is still better than the Italy squad, pound for pound. But I just because they've played with like Mertens and Carrasco, and those guys are good individually, but I've never really seen them do really well for Belgium. Especially maybe it's because they're in the shadow of better players, like that has some kind of effect on them. I don't know what it is, but like Carrasco had a poor game against who did he even play? Oh yeah, Portugal. He didn't do that well. And
he came on.
Mertens is usually he's just there. I mean, he's a kind of a tricky guy, but like he doesn't do anything to the level of what he does for his club team, Napoli, I think it is. So I think Italy, I think Belgium are still the favorites, but I think Italy probably fancies themselves as having much more of a chance than they did before, and maybe more of a chance. Yeah, I think Belgium probably still should win this game.
Oh, do you have an Italy flag?
No, I don't.
Okay. Did that affect your decision? Did that affect
like the legendary text in the Library of Alexandria?
Oh boy.
some of my flags are lost.
Oh
It's
no,
a
what a
tragedy.
tragedy.
I don't know where they are. Genuinely, I really don't know. But there's some that are
But
missing.
did that affect your pick right there?
No.
Belgium's going through.
Yeah, I still think Belgium has enough. Yeah.
I think I don't really know what's going to happen. I think it's probably going to be more like the back half of the Portugal-Belgium game where Belgium was on the back foot. I think Italy's going to possess the ball. I think that's what Italy's basically done. Now they haven't played a team of Belgium. That's why I'm interested in it from an Italy perspective, just to see how they do against this team that's better talent wise. But I think the thing is, Italy has their group together. They know who they're going to play. I don't think they have any major injuries other than Chiellini, who, I mean, to be honest, I think if you're Lukaku, maybe you're thinking, I hope Chiellini plays. I mean, he's an older guy. I know he's experienced, but
I mean, Acerbi, the replacement is
that's
quicker.
true. So it'd be weird to say Italy's weaknesses in defense because they have Bonucci. But then again, like we were saying when we were talking about Belgium and the possibility of this game, that Lukaku plays in Serie A, now does, and had a really prolific season. So I think this is a massive, I mean, this is where Belgium, we find out. Are they still going to be, we have talent. We just aren't a tournament team, which they have every time they've gotten to this kind of stage or semifinal.
Aren't a tournament team. I mean, the only type of competition they play in.
Yeah, I mean, you can have all the talent you want, but how about you make a final or make a semi? I mean, they made the semifinal of the
2018,
and they played a team who was solid and just, I mean, I guess France had more talent, but Belgium has a lot of talent. So they lost to them in a close game. 2014 World Cup, they lost to Argentina. So I know
honestly, I mean, I kind of want Belgium to win. Not gonna lie. I mean, I do like Italy, but I feel like Belgium deserves to have their
this is their moment.
Mention, their little mention in soccer history.
This is their moment. France is out, Germany's out, Portugal's out. The three teams who've won major tournaments recently. Yeah. So this is it for Belgium. If they're thinking, all right, we're gonna, because you can be number one ranked team in the world, but nobody cares if you don't win anything, right? I mean, no one is going to care. Oh, Belgium's ranked number one in the world. If they go out to Italy, it's like, Belgium. Yep. All this talent, just wasted it. So this is a chance. And I think if they go through Italy, it's their tournament to lose, in my opinion. Now, I know they're not healthy, but they still have talent. And you'd think the further they go, the better it is. I know Samuel said his ankle will not be 100% and he won't be 100%. But the longer they go, the more chance he has to recover. So I would not be upset either way which this game goes, because I think Italy's been good in this tournament and I like how they play, and it would not make the next round any worse. And Belgium, I like some of those guys on Belgium. I like Romelu Lukaku. I wish he was still on Man U. I don't really understand how we got rid of him, but I like Romelu Lukaku. I like Kevin De Bruyne. So I would not be, and I kind of like Roberto Martinez, the coach. So we'll see what happens. I'm leaning toward Italy, to be honest, just because they showed a little. I mean, I guess Belgium did too in terms of grit in the last round. But I would not be surprised if it's Belgium, because they have the talent. And what I'm kind of hoping for, it'd be better for them if this doesn't happen and they just go through without having to rely on De Bruyne. But I'm hoping this game is really tight and they throw him on at the end and he has this is very rare in soccer, but he has a Kirk Gibson Dodgers. Nobody knows that except, I guess, LA Dodger fans, which isn't the same scenario because it was the World Series and this is the quarterfinal, but basically comes on and is kind of not 100%, but is just the difference that is needed to put his team over the top.
Like on a set piece or something, you mean? Will we finally get our first direct free kick goal?
That's a great question. I don't know. I was thinking just more like how he did against Denmark, where he just comes on and just has a couple moments of just drops one shoulder, fakes a shot and passes it to a wide open guy and scores. Like his assist that he got, which was fantastic. Not even if he scores, just makes the difference. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to say Italy, but I'm not confident at all in it. And if we got Spain, Italy, I mean, let's go. That'd be a great semifinal.
Yeah.
Spain, Belgium would be amazing. Just Switzerland, just stay at this. You had your moment. Now go home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Fly home, buddy. I work alone.
All right. Do you have any other closing thoughts on Italy, Belgium, James?
Their coach kind of looks like the Italian version of Christopher Walken.
Roberto Mancini.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Did not see that coming. But
That's all I have.
that was a good shout about free kicks. That sounds like something, if we were betting people, that we would see as will there be a direct free kick goal in this tournament? And we'd say, oh yeah, absolutely. And then we'll be in the quarterfinals sweating. Like, come on.
Yeah, we'd never do that though.
Score.
We would
never.
Never,
No, never ever.
Has there been a tournament that's not had a direct free kick
That's a
goal
good
in it?
question. I don't know. We've
Someone smart. Well, it'll be up to Taylor Twellman.
He'll tell me, and then he'll tell us about some watch crimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grand theft.
Yeah. Watch. Jewelry. We'll see what other players have been victims of criminal conspiracies in this round. Before we go, we're going to talk about the Peru game, which is a quarterfinal. They're playing Paraguay, who I just was, before we recorded, looking at the matchups. The last time Paraguay beat Peru was 2014. So in the Ricardo Gareca era, Peru has not lost to Paraguay. Now that probably means they're going to lose tomorrow, but I think they have a good chance. They played well. They have 2 wins. At times, you're right. Okay, James. Yeah.
Do they have 2 wins? Oh, they do.
They have 2 wins. I mean, I was looking at the table before their group stage, and I was thinking, they did pretty. If they could get 7 points from 4 games in qualifying, that'd be good. They'll probably need more than that, but given how they started, but they did what. The only thing I would say is don't lose 4-0 to Brazil. How about lose 1-0?
They'll do that in the semifinal.
Yeah. The other matchup, which will be later, is Brazil-Chile. And maybe there's a chance that Chile wins, but it's unlikely. But yeah, Paraguay to get here. Paraguay beat Chile and beat Bolivia and lost to Uruguay and Argentina. So I think Peru and Paraguay look at themselves and think, Paraguay thinks they're better than Peru, and Peru thinks they're better than Paraguay.
And the Paraguayans are wrong.
Okay, I was gonna say we're on the Peruvian side looking at Paraguay saying we're better than you.
No. From an objective standpoint.
Okay.
From all objective standards, we are better. How did Paraguay do in the 2018 World Cup? Oh, did they not make it? Oh,
they were not there.
Next time. How did they do in the 2014 World Cup?
I mean, how did Peru do in the 2014?
I'm just asking. I'm just throwing it out there. The only time they ever show up is qualifiers and Copa Americas.
I believe.
How did they qualify for the Copa America? Oh, wait.
Everybody
all
does.
Get in. Okay.
Look, you mentioned the Chile-Spain game at the jump. I believe Paraguay played Spain in that World Cup too.
Yes, they actually played them in the quarterfinal.
Quarterfinal.
Yeah.
So that was the last great Paraguayan.
It was close. Yeah.
Is Roque Santa Cruz still playing for Paraguay? No, it's Miguel Almiron. He's the guy.
Oh. Yeah.
Newcastle.
Washed up guy. Okay.
He's not washed up. He's like 20 something. How can he be washed up? And
look at his face. I mean, the guy, he looks like a high schooler.
I mean, he's fine. I don't. Okay.
He's all arms and legs.
He's also apparently
the daddy long legs of humans.
According to FootMob, has a thigh injury, so I don't know if he'll be playing. Yeah, Peru should win, and I expect to win because I'm deciding that they need to win, and I'm tired of. I guess we always expect to win. I don't know what I'm saying. I guess I'm saying they need to make up for their embarrassment that they've shown so far in qualifying and against Brazil by at least beating these teams. They beat Venezuela. They beat Colombia. They tied Ecuador. Okay. Now beat Paraguay. Get to the semifinal, and we'll see what happens. I don't think they're going to get past Brazil. But maybe Brazil will lose. There's no evidence to show that, as they've won every single game, like in the last ever. It feels like
last time they lost was Belgium. I don't know about that.
I mean, it could be.
It feels like it's true. They should have won that game too.
Yeah, they lost. They've won every qualifier. They've won every Copa America game. So you might be right, at least competitively. And I don't think they lose.
Would they have beaten France?
Are you saying, at the 2018 World Cup?
Yeah.
It would have been a good game. I wanted that game really badly. I wanted Brazil, France, but we didn't get it. I think France would have won. France would have kind of done what Belgium did, I think. Get the goal and kind of hang on, which is what France, I thought, was good at. By the way,
is Neymar hurt, by the way? Is that right?
Or I don't know. He usually spends a lot of time on the ground, but doesn't mean he's hurt. Let me see. I don't know. They're playing.
Someone was hurt. Who was hurt? Somebody big was hurt. I forget who it is.
Are you talking about in 2018 or right now?
No, that would be 2014. He was hurt.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about now.
Oh,
is
now.
He okay?
Let's just see if he is okay.
How is Neymar? Is he safe?
Actually, we are completely wrong, and we should be thrown out of podcasting. We said Brazil's won every game. They tied Ecuador in the last group game. So
I think we both meant haven't lost.
In qualifying, I do believe they're perfect, but I'm not sure. Neymar was on the bench against Ecuador. There are no injuries listed on his ledger. So
there's somebody else. I think it was a different sport or something that's hurt. Somebody's hurt. That's big. I don't know.
Mike Trout? I don't know. Giannis. Giannis went down, James. Giannis.
Oh, there you go. Of course.
I mean,
yes, my favorite Bucks player.
The Greek Neymar?
Greek freak.
Yeah, Greek freak. He hyperextended his knee very badly, but I think he might be back.
Was it a tackle from Danielson?
No, but the knee of the Ukrainian did the kind of the same movement that Giannis's did. Except Giannis has his own force of landing, and his 6'11" frame kind of probably played into it. Giannis is hurt, not Neymar.
Okay.
Now,
everybody,
Chile,
no worries.
Chile might have something to say about that. Chile's like, he's not hurt? Good. Okay. Save him for us. Gary Medel is literally, I don't know, sharpening something. I don't know what it is, but so yeah, the other quarterfinals in Copa America, by the way, they're pretty good.
They're always good matchups though. Like, come on.
I know, but I'm just
always
saying.
Because they're all good teams except for Paraguay.
Uruguay, Colombia, Argentina, Ecuador. Hopefully Argentina makes it and then plays Peru in the final. And then Messi can finally win his major tournament because it'll be against Peru.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Did I forget anything, James? Is there anything else we needed to cover?
we covered the Bucks injury situation.
Yeah. Do you have a pick, Bucks or Hawks?
Right. Well, if Giannis isn't playing, then you got to pick the Hawks. Don't they have that guy that scores from far away?
Devin Booker?
No. Devin Booker plays for his Suns, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the Hawks? Oh,
they're playing the Hawks.
Trey Young. Because the Suns are in the finals. That's why.
No, the other guy. That
Trey
Young.
Trey Young.
No, it's not him.
Okay, he shoots from
the
far
guy that
away.
scored. You know what? He's in the Western Conference. The guy.
Damian Lillard.
Yes.
He's on the
Trailblazers.
He's on the Blazers.
Oh, my bad.
Who got knocked out? Yeah, like 2 rounds ago.
Are the Lakers gonna win?
Lakers are not gonna win.
Okay.
They're not. They're out. So, but the Clippers aren't gonna win either. So.
Are they?
They lost.
Gonna score?
It's over. The Suns are in the finals.
Oh.
They won Game 6 like last night.
Good for them. Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, Suns are in the finals.
Suns gonna actually finally win something?
Not if they play the Bucks.
But Giannis is hurt.
I think he might be back. It's not. It was a it's not like he tore his ACL. Wow, a lot of basketball talk. So we covered that.
Yeah.
To recap, Spain plays Switzerland tomorrow, 9 a.m. And then Belgium plays Italy at noon. I believe those are both on ESPN. We'll be back on, I guess, tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. We will be back tomorrow, even though last week I said that and I lied. I'm not lying today. Unless we don't record because of something. To talk about the games tomorrow and then the games on Saturday. James, thank you for joining me. Did you have a Peruvian flag you wanted to flash or no? You don't have a Peru flag.
I didn't look for it.
All right, we'll save it. Save it for another.
Save it as a victory dance.
Save it for another for tomorrow when we hopefully talk about Peruvian glory. And on that note, we will say goodbye. Talk to you tomorrow.